Ladies and gentlemen, we meet again towards Parashat Vayikra that talks about korbanot, sacrifices. Short, sweet idea. We don't think sacrifices is what to do with our ancient world, which is more relevant to our life. This is the book which is most relevant to our life and its message. Because we all live in a world of sacrifices. We give up time and money to take our kids to school and to pay for their tuition, and after we spend time and money went to a university, and all the time we're making sacrifices. When we go and buy honor, when we go and buy bread and butter at the store, and we're sacrificing money in order to get the sacrifices. We sacrifice part of who we are, whether it's some of our money, whether it's some of our time, whether it's both, whether it's other things. We live in a world of sacrifices. Right? Let's try and see the context in which the Torah teaching us about the world of sacrifices. Let's go to the very beginning. HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates the world saved and gracious, the first book, and is looking for humanity to have a relationship with him. And they, thought Adam and Eve, they disappointed him, and he thought maybe Noah will be good, but also disappointed him until he meets Abraham. But eventually, as a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he has a upgrade called Yitzchak, the upgrade called Yaakov, as an upgrade called Joseph, and the book ends with HaKadosh Baruch Hu having one son, Yosef, our son. Wow, the first book took over 2,000 years, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu got what he wanted, which is creating one son. And now he wants something more than that. He wants to create Taroi of Tzadikim, a nation of Tzadikim. Okay, so we go down to Egypt, and then we become a nation of Tzadikim. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu meets Moshe Rabbeinu, burning bush, HaKadosh Baruch Hu meets an individual. And says, you're going to take them out of Egypt. That is the beginning of a relationship with a new level. The book continues to such an extent that we have the Exodus of Egypt, and then accepting the Torah, the revelation of Har Sinai, that then really it gets such a level that we actually build a tabernacle, Mishkan, that we live together with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has a chosen people, hasn't got a relationship with the whole humanity, but he has a chosen people, that those chosen people relate to him, and he can relate to them through this Mishkan, through this tabernacle. The Mishnah in Tanis, that brings the pasuk from Shir Hashirim, that says, Tzelo ure'elo v'not Tzion, v'amelech Shlomo v'atara she'etrano imo. Talks about King Solomon. Look how great. The women of Jerusalem should see how great King Solomon was. Or King what the show. B'yom chatulato v'yom simchat libo. So the whole the whole Shir Hashirim is actually a relationship between Hashem and Am Yisrael. I will go into it now, but the Mishnah there says, what is Yom Chatulato? What is the day of his wedding? What is the day of our wedding with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? That is Matan Torah. That is the day of the revelation ceremony. But what is the day of his happiness? That is Mishkan. Binyan Mishkan. Which means we just not finished. What's going to do with creating the relationship and getting married and going home. Now Parshas Vayikra is married now. Something else. Whereas without recursions and without the telephones and without all the romantic sides to it, it is about marriage. How does marriage work? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a crisis in the democratic world. We have families, so many families, which are falling apart. Oh, and people that never got married, and if they did get married and they blew up, how many families, how many children do they have? We're losing demographics against the Muslim world around us, and no, well, we have knowledge. And things are happening in America as well. Canada, The problem is families. We need people to learn how to run a family. And we as youth, first of all, have to know how to run a family. To run your family, you need to make sacrifices. You need to make sacrifices. And that is what the book of Vayikra, of Leviticus, is teaching us. There are different types of sacrifice. Let's bring it down. Let's translate these sacrifices to our language, and we can understand them. So, the drawing laws that computer brings down a very interesting insight, and it says that there are three types of olot. There are three types of sacrifice one gives of appreciation to Hashem, and there is what's called olat behima, the animal sacrifice. There is olat ha'of, bird sacrifice, and there is mincha, which is a vegetarian, a grain sacrifice. And each one of them, it says, one of the three depends on your financial spirit. If you are very wealthy, so you bring an animal. If you're less wealthy, you bring a kitchen or a boat. And if you're less wealthy, you bring this grain. It's for the vegetation. Each one is really for Hashem. Each one doesn't matter what it costs. Each one of them can be surrendered is what was wrong. What was I mean? Reporting about investing and making sacrifices for a relationship. So if he's a rich person and it's his and it's their wedding anniversary, so he comes home and he says, "My dear wife, here, look, I brought you a whole bunch of orchids, and I go and how out of my way on my way back from work to buy you orchids from Saturday Limbo on our wedding day. And you especially enjoyed that we had a few orchids at our table, at our head table, and therefore I bring you some of that. Big rich man to do that. I do somebody. I can't afford that. So he on his way home from work, on the way he picks wallflower. It's wallflower. Wraps it over it, comes home, and kneels down on one knee, and says to his wife, but he gives her his one flock, and she's so happy. Because everybody could do whatever they could do, as long as they do it wholeheartedly. Once our heart, for bolos, have to be there wholeheartedly, then not down wholeheartedly. Nothing's happened. In fact, the Bible talks about tefillah. That tefillah is instead of Torah, that therefore tefillah we have to do wholeheartedly. When you do that in a relationship, when somebody's there saying to us, thank you, but they don't say it wholeheartedly, it doesn't mean anything to them. First of all, I'd like to say something about the other sacrifices. So most of the other sacrifices you can actually put in two groups. Either they are hatat, asham, all kinds of korbanot, all kinds of sacrifices. Because we sinned, and because we sinned, we're saying, I'm sorry. That will bring a sacrifice to say, oh, have the soul and made a mistake. But the second type of sacrifice is like our Allah, terminated before shlorim, which are sacrifices saying, thank you, Dr. Baruch. Also saying, thank you. You have to say, full heart to good thing. You have to really, the person has to feel you're thanking them. And therefore, you take all the sacrifices and take the message. You say, the two messages. That Vayikra is telling us as far as a happy family is both the husband and the wife. They both have to learn how to say to each other regularly, thank you very much. And sorry, I made one mistake. A couple living together that know how to say these words, know how to make these sacrifices. Sacrifices of saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. And the sacrifice of saying, thank you, I enjoyed that very much. Right? These are the keys for successful relationship. And like it is true between human beings, it's true between us and our Kadosh Baruch. And that's the whole Leviticus in a nutshell. I wish you all very happy marriage, very happy families, and always to remember these key words which can actually keep our marriages in the best situation possible.